the fact that people are into this has got to be just so exciting for you.
So exciting. I mean, the older audience, the old fans are just lining up down the street. My husband's, he's got friends in London, and they said they were lining up around the block in London. Yeah, which was just delicious. And so exciting that there's a new audience getting into it, obviously, as well. And yeah, very exciting. Right.
So, and again, Scream is in theaters near you, starring you, and obviously you got some of the OGs, if you will,
David
back
Arquette,
together.
Courtney Cox.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what was that like for you to be back on this set?
I love stepping back into Sydney's boots. I mean, these movies, you can't take it too seriously. I mean, they're great horror films and they're great entertainment, and you just commit and have fun. And it's like going back to summer camp on these films, honestly. Our first experience was like being at summer camp. We were in Santa Rosa, California. We were all at the very beginnings of our careers. And
right, and you were...
This is my first lead in a movie. Yeah. You know, I had done a year of Party of Five, and I had done stuff in Canada, theater and dancing, but this was, it was a big deal for me. So
that's one of the things I want to get into here. Neve Campbell here on the Rich Eisen Show, because somebody had to knock Spider-Man and his whole thing off of the top of the box office charts, Scream in theaters near you. So how did you first come across Scream and Wes Craven back in the day? How did that first come across your desk?
My team called and said, you have an audition. And I read the script, and it's a page turner, which I figure you can imagine, because the movie is that you just like edge of your seat. And I knew it was good. I knew they had like lightning in a bottle, that it was but for me, I just had to go through the process and audition and do screen tests. And as I said, it was my first lead in a movie. I had done The Craft that year as well. Right. But I was like girl number 4 in that, basically. So it was really exciting, really exciting. Wes Craven, I was not a big fan of horror movies, to be honest, just because they really scare me.
I don't blame you.
But I knew how talented Wes was, and that, he was a big deal in this genre. And it was really exciting when I got it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a baseball fan, and I talk football for a living.
Right.
It's kind of crazy how things it's not like I wasn't into football, but I'm not really into that. I like going to escape.
Yeah.
Not seeing people escape death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the way that I go about it. But so when you first got onto the set of Scream, what was Wes Craven like? I mean, may he rest in peace, but
my gosh.
What was that experience like for you?
Actually the screen test was the first time I had my meeting with him, and he was this tall, slender, gentle man with a gray beard. He was a professor, actually, a history professor, before he was a horror filmmaker.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am. He was a very intelligent, well-educated man, amazing man. And he had this gentle energy, and he literally walked into the room. He walked like a gazelle. He was so graceful. Not what you would expect of someone with as twisted a mind.
What must his history class been like?
I know, right?
Because you're doomed to repeat so much.
Talks about the wars.
I know, exactly.
But he was he set the energy on set. He set the tone in the audition, calmed my nerves down, because I knew it was down to a few of us. And just very clear about what he wanted, and very open also to hearing my thoughts on what I thought the character should be. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful soul, honestly. Very much like a father figure to us over the years.
Neve Campbell here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you need to be sold on the idea of doing this again?
No. I had been apprehensive at first about doing this without Wes. Because he is the reason these movies are as successful as they are, and this franchise is still going. And I thought, can anyone else do this? But Matt and Tyler, the new directors, they wrote me a letter expressing the fact that they became directors because of Wes Craven, and that they made their brilliant movie Ready or Not because of Scream, and that they really wanted to honor Wes's legacy and get it right. And that meant a lot to me and gave me confidence. And they were really sweet. And the script was actually really great. And I thought, you know what, this could work. I'm glad I did it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have a son, correct?
I have 2 sons.
You have 2 sons. Do they trick or treat in the mask in any way, shape, or form like that?
Not in the mask, but I did take them to a pumpkin patch this year. And Caspian, the older one, spotted a ghost face, like a 13-year-old boy in ghost face. He goes, Mom, look.
Yes.
He said, go over and tell them. I was like, well, I'm not going to walk over and be like, hey, do you know who I am?
I'm Sidney Prescott. I've got a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that would be, but, that.
But it does mean something to people. Like when I open my door at Halloween and there's a ghost face and they see me, it's kind of
come on.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice for them.
That's the treat, I imagine. That's the treat part of it. Oh my gosh, that would be kind of wild to do something like that. Neve Campbell here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, we have some facts here. These are okay. These are cool facts, but they're also interesting facts that I need to know if are true or false, because so many things that get written up at Wikipedia and IMDb pages aren't. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We have production value involved in this too. Go ahead and hit it right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Celebrity, true or false?
You can't handle the truth.
That's it. That's the.
I like it. Very good.
That's
very
it.
good.
Thank you. Oh, I got a round of applause from Neve Campbell. Okay. First up, true or false? Neve Campbell, celebrity, true or false? True or false? You once auditioned for Baywatch, but you were turned down by the casting director because you were too pale. Is that true or false?
I definitely auditioned for Baywatch, and it's very likely that my pality, is that a word? Paleness?
Yes, your paleness. Yes.
Might have had something to do with it, but I don't know if that's the very reason.
Okay, do you know what the very reason is?
I don't.
Well, neither do we.
I don't think I want to know.
Because this is something that, I don't know, spray tans can fix this sort of thing, But you did audition for Baywatch?
Did,
when?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
So when I came to Los Angeles, it was 2 weeks after the big earthquake, and I couldn't get in a door anywhere. And I had 3 auditions. One was Party of 5, one was Baywatch, and one was something else. And within, I got Party of 5 within 2 weeks of getting here.
So you're the ones who told Baywatch to pound sand then?
Yeah.
By the way, I just made that up. That just came to me.
Good.
Baywatch to pound sand.
Well done.
I mean, literally, I'm just, I'm trying to bring my A game here. Okay, so you got here, because I'm trying to remember. So that was 95 was that earthquake, I think, or 94 was that earthquake.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you just get here and your first audition is Party of 5? That was.
Yeah, I had actually come hoping to find an agent or a manager, and a lot of offices were shut, and people were like, we don't even have an office right now, we can't take you in. And I had done a movie the week in Toronto, and the producers had said, why don't you meet, we're sharing offices with this woman, Arlene Forrester, who has just started managing, and she wants to meet you. And she said, while you're looking for an agent or manager, why don't I send you on a few things? And one of the things she sent me on was
Party of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, but I have another fact here. I might be going out of order, Hoskins. Celebrity, true or false, with Neve Campbell. Your first gig was a Coke commercial at the age of 17 with Bryan Adams. Is that true or false?
It was one of my first gigs. My first gig was Phantom of the Opera when I was 15.
But that's the real deal on stage, right?
Yeah, that was the original Canadian cast. So I did that for 2 years. I did 800 shows.
At age 15, you did 800 shows?
Yeah, had my Sweet 16 in the green room.
Okay, I'll bite. What does a Sweet 16 look like in a green room?
People in masquerade costumes bringing me a cake and singing, opera singers singing me happy birthday.
No kidding.
Pretty sweet, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, so I did do a Coke commercial with Bryan Adams. That was probably maybe my second or third commercial, on camera.
We got
there I am in a t-shirt and socks. With crimped hair.
Crimped? Well, I mean, this is the way it was. We were rolling back in that day after you had hair to crimp. That had to be big for you with Bryan Adams, right?
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting.
A girl from Guelph, I mean, right?
Yeah,
so
Guelph,
the Guelph girl meeting Bryan, he's.
Yeah, he was a big deal in Canada. I mean, he's a big deal anywhere.
That's right, but I mean,
as a Canadian,
that's it,
very big
right?
deal.
Like the Springsteen of Canada.
Yeah.
Would we go there?
Yeah,
Would that
for
be
sure.
Okay?
For sure.
So the Coke commercial.
Yep.
With Bryan Adams after that's amazing. All right, next one. I've got a few more of these. Neve Campbell, celebrity, true or false? Scream 2 caused you to turn down a role in Rounders because of a scheduling conflict. Is that true?
Yes. Well, there were several reasons that I was not able to do Rounders, but I was doing Party of 5, Scream 2, Drowning Mona, and they wanted to fit Rounders in there, and the scheduling
It just didn't work, huh?
No.
That's a heck of a movie, though.
Yeah,
Rounders.
I know. It would have been good.
Are you a poker player at all? In any way, shape, or form?
I'm not.
You don't play cards? You don't do anything like that?
No. I've probably only played poker 5 times, and I have to relearn every time I do.
Okay.
And the last time, actually, David Arquette took a group of us on Scream 4 to a little poker hall in, where were we? Ann Arbor. And I sat down, and I was that annoying person who won like $1,300 that night and beat everybody. And I was literally just guessing. I had no idea what I was doing.
That, you know, and is delightful to hear because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, you're saying I don't know what I'm doing
No
as
idea.
you just you know rake it all in.
Yeah.
So you know, I went to Michigan. I went to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I don't remember poker halls there.
David can find these kinds of places.
I'm sure. So let me just break out of this construct for just a quick second. What is the craziest David Arquette story that you can share with us right here on live television? And what do you got on David Arquette? What do you got for me?
There's so many. I mean, you know, if he throws you a birthday party, there's going to be ponies and circus acts, and
you're not 12 now, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Like for adults, birthday
yes,
parties.
for adults. Yeah, sure. I mean, I saw a video the other day. I wasn't able to go. They did a pop in on the 14th. A bunch of the cast and David went around in a bus and popped in theaters, and the cast wrote me and said, "Did you know David owns a club?" Like, of course he owns a club. So he has a club here in LA, and they had a party night the other night.
Well,
Small group.
We had Jack Quaid here last week.
Yeah.
And he told us, Chris, this is true. Like, he's a registered Bob Ross
painter.
Painter.
Paint instructor. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And so
That's random.
I would say.
Yeah.
Like, again, you know, that sounds like a Mad Lib. You know, like you're just filling in the blanks of random proper nouns.
Yes.
David Arquette and Bob Ross and painting would be that sentence,
I
you know?
David
Did you take any of his classes?
Tries everything. No, I wasn't there yet, unfortunately. I really wish I had. It would have been fun. But he, you know, it was a really nice way for the younger cast to bond. He bought them all a Bob Ross kit and set them up and did lessons for them. And they all made Bob Ross paintings.
Yeah, well, Jack said that. I asked him what he did with that. He said he painted happy little trees, is what he said. That was his answer, or happy little clouds, or something like that. I'm just wondering, with the kit, does that include the afro too? You know, like what comes in the kit? The easel, the palette, or whatever. The palette, right?
Palette that you hold to paint on the.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I got 2 more for you. Neve Campbell, we're back now. Celebrity, true or false? You dislocated your knee dropping from a helicopter to snowboard on a glacier in the Canadian Rocky Mountains before you shot the company. Is that a true story?
Yes. And had never snowboarded before. Clever.
So
woman.
you play poker better than you snowboard.
Yeah. No, so an ex of mine thought it would be a good idea to learn how to snowboard in the glaciers in the Rocky Mountains.
Dropping from a helicopter?
Dropping from a helicopter. I mean, listen, you drop out of the helicopter and then you snowboard down. You know what I mean? You get out of the helicopter and then the helicopter meets you at the bottom. And then you get,
Okay.
So I had done actually the first half of the day on the board really well because I'm a dancer, so I have good balance. So I figured it out. So I had figured out how to go really fast.
Yes.
But I hadn't figured out how to stop. And on my last run before lunch, because it's always the last run before lunch when you injure yourself, we're going down, and I'm coming up, and I see the helicopter sort of up this hill, and I think, I'm not going to slow down. I'm just going to keep my speed and keep going. And the teachers or the guides are like trying to catch up to me and saying, no, but I'm not listening. And I come up the top, and there's a cliff, and I don't know how to stop. So I had to throw my body, dislocated my knee, and then started howling. And my friends at the top were like, was that a moose? But no, it was me.
It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Oh,
and yes, it was right
God.
before I had been training already 6 months, 8 hours a day to do a movie called The Company. And I was trying to convince Robert Altman to direct the movie. And so I would literally fly to New York, take the brace off outside of Bob's office and walk in and pretend I was fine.
Did he buy it?
He bought it. He didn't know about it. I told him after we made the movie.
Robert Altman. Now that's you can't get any bigger than that name.
No, you can't.
But
You can't.
but you started off your relationship with him by not being straight up and honest with him.
It's
Okay,
good, right?
let's be honest about
Good way
that
to
too.
start.
Okay. Yeah, I have a problem skiing with stopping too.
Yeah,
I can't. That's why I just don't really. I'm
it at all.
Well, no, I'm an
Yeah.
après skier.
Okay.
I'm a gold. I'm a gold medalist when it comes to that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Last one for you. Is it true that when you hosted Saturday Night Live and you were told that the music guest was David Bowie, you did not know who David Bowie was at the time?
Sadly, yes. That is true.
I don't mean to. I mean, I just
Wasted on me, right? Like,
not wasted. I mean,
kinda.
I'm sure that had to be. This is '97.
Yeah.
So this is early on and
Yeah.
everything going on with you.
I
in
was
your
in the
career?
dance. I grew up in the dance world. I was so ballet. I could tell you anything about any dance company, but knew nothing about.
including Spandau Ballet. That is that. Okay.
Not probably not.
All right.
But didn't know a lot about pop culture at the time. So
What
had
was-
my education prior, like a few days prior to meeting Bowie. I was like cramming Bowie.
This is it. You know what? I'm just gonna say what pops into my mind. So my wife, and the
Yes.
reason why I'm saying current wife is I don't plan on having another one.
Good.
But what I'm saying is that when my wife, I first met her, and I knew that she was the one for me. Took a while though for that to be realized mutually.
Glad you did.
She
So-
needed
took a
convincing.
while for her.
She needed convincing.
Okay.
So I was meeting her family for
Yeah.
the first time, and she's just like, "Come meet us. We're having dinner at Nobu
Yes.
in New York City."
Yes.
Which, for those who may not know, is
Fancy.
well, for sushi, right?
Yeah.
I'd never had sushi before in my
Oh,
entire
wow.
life.
Wow.
So my friends took me to some spot on like the Upper East Side so I could kind of get the idea of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I don't like spicy food. They're like, avoid that green stuff, with the plague. So similar to you. So you'd never, did you see like even a warm-up band for David Bowie before? Like,
You
did
know,
you,
it was my
like
first
a cover band,
my
like a Bowie cover band?
No, but my
moving up?
first experience was when you were hosting SNL. On the day, the band go up and they rehearse prior. So I got to watch him myself with just a few people rehearsing his gig prior to. I know. Wow. You know what you'll hate is my first football game.
By the way, that's not a good way to start a sentence. You know what you'll hate.
My
but-
first football game I ever went to was a Super Bowl. And
Just-
I could not even now tell you which one I went to. And I
my
was
God.
in a commercial
Okay.
for it because it was Party of Five and it was Fox at the time.
Okay, so we
Okay,
can figure this out.
we can figure this out. Hold on, we can figure
No.
this
We can
out.
figure this out. This is very simple. Where was it? Where was the Super Bowl?
Miami, I think.
Yeah.
Miami.
So
It's
what
got to
was
be
it?
98.
So
So
wait a
that
minute.
makes sense,
98.
right? Party of Five.
98.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be 98.
So-
I worked that one. Yeah. That's
Thank
Miami.
you.
So that
That's
90.
Broncos and Falcons or Broncos Packers?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So
definitely Broncos.
This is amazing.
It's Broncos.
This, by the way, is first of all, I don't hate this. Secondly, this is amazing. So you host Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
David Bowie's your musical guest, and that's the way you're introduced to David Bowie. Okay.
Oh, so it would have been.
You have never been to a football game
No.
before.
No.
And you go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I was that annoying person going, so how does the scoring work?
You don't know how to play poker.
99 Broncos Falcons.
Okay.
There you go.
There it is.
That sounds great.
We got it. You don't know how to play poker.
Yeah.
You go to a poker hall
Yeah.
and you win four
Yeah.
figures of money.
Yeah.
God bless you,
Elway's
Neve
last
Campbell.
game.
John Elway's last game.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a big to
Okay.
do.
Big deal.
It's a big to do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What else do I need to know? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a party of five, like everybody get
Yeah, we had a
together on
commercial.
Fox.
We had it. I think we were on the.
Yeah, you guys are on the big jumbotron.
Yeah, on the
I
big
remember this.
jumbotron, yeah.
All right.
We did it.
Well, we
I
know
remember that.
Scott Wolf. He must have been
Isn't
all
he
over that.
just- Yeah.
He must have been psyched about
Yeah,
that.
he was super psyched.
Did he give you a little bit of assistance on
I think
what's
he
going on
didn't
in the
want to
game?
explain the scoring to me at the time.
Well, because
he
he's
was
locked
trying
in
to
on the
enjoy
actual
game.
event. The actual event, and you're like,
Probably the only time Scott Wolf wasn't the most polite human being on earth.
that's right, exactly. Exactly. Tell me David Bowie played the halftime. Please tell
Actually,
me that.
Kiss
Just
was
to
in the
bring it-
pregame show. I know that for. Yeah, I remember that one.
Kiss was pregame?
Kiss was definitely in the pregame show, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, here's the other one.
Okay.
Weekend,
All right.
The Weekend
Yeah.
played the Super Bowl. Was it
Just
this
last year,
recently? Right.
I think.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, but I do remember the performance. And then just like a couple or like 10 days ago, he
Yeah.
dropped his new album and he talks about me in one of his songs.
Okay.
And my Jennifer Allen, my
Yes.
publicist, who
Yes.
you know very well,
Yes, right
goes,
there.
Neve, The Weeknd, do you want to hear you're involved in one of his songs? And I went, which weekend? Last weekend?
No, man. Neve Campbell, everybody.
Halftime show, Gloria Estefan,
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Does that ring a bell?
Big Band Voodoo Daddy. What? So what?
Swing music.
I love Big Band Voodoo Daddy. I do know.
Oh, man. Well, this is as delightful as I hoped as it would be. Scream is currently playing in theaters nationwide. It is the #1 movie in America. Please go see it with you and all your friends and do it multiple times. Neve Campbell, this has been great. Thanks for coming on. I can't wait till your next time that you're here. We'll learn so much more. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.